Welcome to Walking the Path. Okay, woo. Was a second there. I didn't know if we were on, but we're on. Yay! Welcome to Walking the Path. I'm so grateful, so thankful to be here, to get to do this on a Thursday afternoon in Costa Rica. I'm super grateful. Hey, brother, good to. So today's talk is Walking the Path. It's our fifth talk in the series on spirituality, and today's topic is your spiritual vision for the future. And the theme is really that transformation begins from within, and that if we really want to change the world, we've got to do our own inner work first. It's an inside out job. So, welcome. Super excited to share this fifth talk in the series. Before I go through a review and recap of the previous four talks, I just want to take a moment and say that this talk is under the auspices of Rythmia. Rythmia Life Advancement Center in Guanacaste, Costa Rica, has been my home for the last 7+ years. And I'm so grateful to have been called down here. It was not on my radar, but being here has been one of the most transformational experiences of my life. And I get to see thousands and thousands. I have gotten to see thousands and thousands and thousands, literally tens of thousands of people move through the process at Rythmia in a powerful way. And what I've seen is that the program just keeps getting better, more refined. We're not adding stuff. It's taking stuff away and making it even simpler and clearer. So if you're changing your spiritual vision, take a look at Rythmia. It changes everything. And if you have any questions, you can direct message me or call the 800 number, get in touch with somebody. We'd love to have you here. Now, back to Walking the Path, spirituality, number 5, your spiritual vision for the future. So just to recap, we've had 4 talks. This is the 5th talk. And the 4 talks in the series so far, the first talk was on understanding spirituality. And it's our spiritual foundation, the structure that holds and supports our entire life. Spirituality is the life structure, the foundational life structure that supports all the other life structures. The second talk was on tools for spiritual alignment. And we deepen that connection. We deepen our spiritual foundation through meditation, breath work, mantras, and staying consistent rather than intense, but consistent practice. The third talk was on overcoming spiritual obstacles, how to overcome doubt, fear, and distractions. They're natural, but navigating them with awareness and self-compassion is what's required. So that was the third talk. And the fourth talk was living spirituality in everyday life, that it's not just something that we do, rather the way we see and engage with everything in life. It is the lens through which we see everything in life. So today's focus, talk number 5, is envisioning our spiritual evolution and understanding how we see the world creates our reality. Your spiritual vision, our spiritual vision, creates our reality. So the outer world is a reflection of our inner world. And by aligning with our spiritual truth, we don't just transform ourselves, we literally transform the world. But it starts here. You know, Wayne Dyer has a great saying, happy people live in a happy world, hostile people live in a hostile world, same world. The way we see the world is our reality. There's no permanent fixed reality that's always the same out there because it's always changing. We are typically experiencing our thoughts and opinions, judgments, and points of view and perspectives about reality. We're not really experiencing reality. So as we use our spiritual vision to transform the eyes with which we see, one of my favorite quotes from Isaiah is, I shall do a new thing. I shall do a new thing. I'll make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert if ye have but eyes to see and ears to hear. What is he talking about? What eyes to see? It's a different vision. So the power of spiritual vision, the eyes with which we see are that's about what we see, but how we see. The way we perceive the world shapes our experience of it. We don't see, as I said, a permanent reality, but how are you seeing the world? Let's check in. How are you seeing the world? Are you seeing the world as fragmented, hostile, and separate? Everybody out there is out to get me? Or do we see the world as alive and interconnected and sacred, a living, throbbing, vibrant system in which we are in relationship with everything? Seeing the divine in everything is the ideal, right? To see through the form to the essence of life behind the form. What is that? Ram Dass was talking about. Ram Dass was talking about that. Eckhart Tolle. I saw this wonderful conversation between Eckhart Tolle and Ram Dass, and they were both talking about meditation as a means of moving closer to the oneness. In fact, Ram Dass talked about, he tried mushrooms for the first time. Timothy Leary gave him mushrooms for the first time, and he was like, "Oh my God, I saw through the form. I saw the essence of life." And then he said he spent the next 7 years just trying to figure out how to do that. And if he could, extend it and not come down. And he said, I tried everything, fast for 12 hours before taking psychedelics and then read the Bhagavad Gita, while you're on the psychedelics and all this stuff. And he goes, but I always came down. And finally, he said, I went to India and he met his guru. And he goes, I met a guy who never came down. And so psychedelics was a way, an introduction for him to see what's possible in our vision, what's possible in our everyday vision. So we want to begin to see the divine in everything. Easier said than done. And when we begin to practice, when you walk into a store, see the roles that everybody's playing. There's the cashier, there's the clerk, there's the person stocking the store, there's the customers, there's the manager. All these people are playing roles. What about the roles that the inanimate objects are playing? The fruits, the vegetables, the things on the shelf. Everything is alive. Everything is alive. Everything is alive with the energy of the divine intelligence, which is in back of it all. So our spiritual divine in everything is to see through the form. I started practicing this by taking walks. I live in a really beautiful place in Costa Rica, and it's lots of nature right outside my door. But nature has its processes, right? So there's a beautiful flowering tree, and then there's a decaying tree, and then there's a termite nest, and there's dead branches, and there's a dead vine. And I would look at the flowering tree and look at the beauty and not want to look at, or not see the beauty in the decaying vine, in the termite nest, in the fence post with barbed wire. So I started practicing this. I started practicing seeing through the form to the essence of life behind all forms. And this is how we begin to see the divine in every person and every experience. Even the challenges that we face, are we viewing them through the lens of spirit? Reverend Michael has a beautiful saying. He says, challenges are just blessings in work clothes. So, okay, there was a comment here from True Life Stories. I've been stuck in the oneness to where every time I dive in, now I instantly connect to the one. This is wherever I'm listening to certain things, like even this, I can still see it. Oh, beautiful. That's a very high spiritual place to be. It's a place that I aspire to be, to really see the divine in everything. So when we shift our perspective, when we shift our vision, we see everything as an expression of the divine, like that beautiful comment. But what we expect, we experience. Again, hostile people live in a hostile world. Happy people live in a happy world. Same world. What we believe the world be, will find evidence for. In fact, the truest words ever spoken, it is done to us as we believe. It is done to us as we believe. Our belief, our our the way we think and see the world is what's being reflected back to us. And when we shift our vision, if we're seeing the world as against us and everybody's out to get us, we find evidence to support that. But if we shift the vision to one of trust and unity and infinite possibility, then life begins to reflect. Now, that's not to say that we're spiritual doormats and just let all this shit happen in life. There's a time when we're connected, we receive insights, and we take inspired action from those insights. So there might be a time when we're called to action, when we're called to not just be light workers, but light warriors. That and still we see the world as unity. I aspire to see the world through that lens of unity and infinite possibility and trust. So this is a call to spiritual practice. Consider this a call to spiritual practice. That true spiritual practice is in our vision. It is the way we look at life and at others and at ourselves. We can change the way we see. The world changes with it. So how do you see the world today? Is it through fear or through love, through separation or through unity? And let's also be compassionate and gentle with ourselves, right? The intention is to see the world through the lens of love and unity. And then something happens. You hear the news, or someone does something to you, or you witness something, and it doesn't seem like love and unity. That's okay. Our intention is every day, in every way, we continue to inch forward. We just need to move forward every day, just a little bit, every day, just a little bit. Keep improving, keep moving forward, just a little bit. Don't beat yourself up. If you get down, if you fall down, pick yourself back up, keep moving forward. This is consistency over intensity. So the next thing I want to talk about is envisioning your spiritual evolution, right? In just this way, like if we just keep inching forward, who do you want to become this year? We're still in the New Year's energy, and we're coming up to the first new moon. We had the first full moon. Now we're going to the first new moon of the year. Who do you want to be? Who do you want to become spiritually this year? Reflect on your spiritual vision for the year ahead. Take a look, and what qualities do you want to cultivate? What qualities do you want to cultivate in your spiritual life this year? Peace, clarity, wisdom, love, courage, prosperity, vitality, health, order, divine order, balance, harmony. What qualities do you want to cultivate? Who do you want to become? Set the intention. And then what practices will support you in that growth? In talk number 2, we talked about meditation and mindfulness and service and devotion. What practices are you committing to take on this year in your spiritual vision? What is your spiritual vision for your spiritual evolution this year? It's and how will your life change when you embody that highest potential? When you embody your highest spiritual self, what would change in your life? Take a minute right now. Just take a moment. Close your eyes if you can. And imagine if you were meditating twice a day, if you were using mindfulness practices and incorporated those things, if you were able to cultivate peace and clarity and wisdom, love and courage, how would your life be different? Envision it. How would your life be different? And then we need to compare ourselves to. We don't need to compare ourselves to anyone else because there's nobody like me and there's nobody like you. There never has been, there isn't one now, and there never will be, ever. So there's no one to compare ourselves to. And the comparison is the highest spiritual self. What is our vision of our highest spiritual self just this year? Not for all eternity, this year. Who do you want to become spiritually this year? How would your life change if you embodied over the next 11 months, little by little, inch by inch, breath by breath, meditation by meditation, mindful practice by mindful practice, active service by active service? how would your life change? How would it be different? Who would you be? The principle is inside out, right? If we want to see more peace in the world, we must be more peaceful. If we want to inspire others, we must live in alignment with our highest truth. If we want to heal the collective, we got to heal ourselves first. If we want to see love in the world, we got to love ourselves inside out. As within, so without. This reinforces the idea of our spiritual vision. The eyes with which we see are the eyes that create our reality. How are we seeing? And our spiritual evolution then is not just personal, it ripples out into our relationships and into our community and into the world. So this is the principle. Like, there's so much going on in the world and we got to feel called to do all this stuff. Start here. Start within. Start finding love for yourself. Start cultivating peace no matter what the immediate circumstances are around you. When we stabilize our life structures, spirituality, beliefs, ego, body temple, finance, livelihood, community, and relationships, when those life structures are stabilized, then we are a candidate to be a beneficial presence on the planet. And in the process of doing that, we become that. And just in doing that, we become that. It ripples out. So look, spirituality uplifts our spiritual life structure, uplifts all life structures. So we just went through the life structures, body temple. The way we honor our spiritual nature, we naturally care for our body. This body is a filament, as Reverend Michael says. It's a filament. We are light carriers. We carry the light. And by exercising and taking good care of our bodies, proper hydration, proper nutrition, proper sleep, proper movement, we begin to build the muscle of our body to hold more light, to be of service when it's called. And then the rest of the spiritual life structures are our spiritual gym, right? The physical body, we got to go to the physical gym, take walks, all that stuff. But our beliefs, we got to go to the spiritual gym for our beliefs. Our spiritual awareness helps us reframe limiting beliefs and expand into the truth. We got to eliminate limiting beliefs before we can create new ones. So, we got to empty the cup before we can be filled. These limiting beliefs, it's a deductive process. The Buddhists say, we're all struggling to become more of what we already are. Well, how do we become more of what we already are? By becoming less of what we're not, right? So becoming less of fear, doubt, worry, lack, limit. I'm not smart. There's something wrong with me. I'm broken. Life never treats me fair. Everything happens to me. The world is against me. All of these limiting beliefs. Money is for other people, not for me. Prosperity never happens to me. I just get what I need. That's okay. All that stuff. We've purged that out so that we can create new narratives, new stories, new beliefs that are affirmative and supportive of our spiritual vision. Our finance and livelihood, finance is not about the amount of money in your bank account. It's about a deep understanding that God is our source and supply. And I'm not talking about a man in the sky or Santa Claus. I'm talking about the presence of life that is in, through, and as everything, that which has never been created and has never been destroyed, that there's all of it is already existing, everywhere present. That is the life force that's already here. Then therefore our financial life structure takes part in that life force. That's our source and supply. And our livelihood becomes an expression of our gifts and talents and how we're contributing to the world. So when we align and trust in the divine order and act in alignment, prosperity flows. Unexpected offers flow to us. The relationship life structure, our primary relationship is with ourselves. So inside out, we must work first on the relationship with ourselves. Wow, something happened on Instagram. There's all sorts of fireworks going off. So our primary relationship with ourselves, and and spirituality allows us to love, forgive, and connect on a soul level with ourselves first, and then with another. And that's the outward movement to community, the final life structure. Reverend Michael says our community boosts our immunity, and our personal transformation supports and uplifts those around us, and our community supports and uplifts us while we're going through transformation. You know, I'm a big fan of community. I've created some communities for myself that support me in meditation, in doing my spiritual work. And there are so many times when, man, I haven't wanted to sit for meditation, but I know I have this WhatsApp chat group that I have to report, not have to, I want to report, to check in and say, hey, I did my meditation. And that alone helps keep me consistent. So community boosts our immunity. So we really want to reframe spirituality as a way of life, not as a separate practice, that we're folding it in into every decision, every conversation, every action can be infused with spiritual awareness. When we don't do that, it's okay. The intention is more and more, inch by inch, little by little, every day. What is your spiritual vision? How would your life change if you lived with spiritual vision in every life structure? So the inner work that we do is the foundation for outer change. Creating change in the world is an inside out job. You can't just give. You have to create love, peace, justice first and embody them. Gandhi said it famously, be the change you want to see in the world. The world needs to be awakened, heart-centered, and it needs awakened, heart-centered individuals who lead by example. That's us, that's you, that's me right now. And every time we use our energy, our presence, our choices, realize that it's affecting everything around us. It's a ripple effect, that the more spiritually aligned we are, the more others are inspired to do the same. The more we are in alignment with the flow of prosperity and love and peace, and things are coming to us with ease and grace in a magical way. You know, it just takes one person in a community. One person living from truth can transform a family, can transform a community, even a movement. Nelson Mandela, Mother Teresa, Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr. We don't have to be Gandhi or Martin Luther King Jr. or Nelson Mandela or Mother Teresa. We just have to be ourselves. And as we do that, we change the world around us. So commit to doing the inner work. What's your spiritual vision for your spiritual life? What's your vision for your spiritual life this year? Commit so you can truly be a force for good in the world, a beneficial presence. So just to recap, spirituality is our foundation and influences every area of our life. The alignment tools that keep us connected, and obstacles are stepping stones for growth. And the way we see the world changes our reality, shapes our reality, that true spiritual living is about perception, not just practice, and that our inner work is the key to changing our outer world, that it's an inside out job. So this year, I would love to invite you to commit, to say, this year, I choose to deepen my spiritual connection, align with my highest truth, and be a beneficial presence in the world. So just a final reflection. Our world and a world of alignment begins with individuals in alignment, and that you are the change. You are the light. You are the transformation. So carry this vision forward into the year ahead. Let's walk this path together, just moment by moment, breath by breath. Sometimes we fail, sometimes we don't. We just keep going, and we become the change that we want to see in the world. I'm so grateful and so thankful to share this with you. This is the last talk in spirituality. I haven't gotten the download for what February is going to be. So stay tuned, because next week we'll have a different topic, maybe a different life structure. I don't know. I'm waiting for the download, because we're connected and we receive insights and take inspired action based on those insights for our growth. That's what it means to be a spiritual person. peace and richest blessings. I look forward to seeing you next week, and have a beautiful day. Peace.